Who the fuck you think I'm going to be talking about today? Yes! It's Kraut! Oh man, I wake up this morning. It's Sunday morning where I am. I wake up this morning and there's a Kraut video. Oh god, it was so goddamn funny. I watched the whole thing. Yeah, I watched the whole fucking thing. So before we get into it, into the video itself and how incredibly stupid and ignorant Kraut actually is, let's talk about a few things that are of like, like mutual interest, right? The metrics. Oh yeah, let's look at the metrics. Oh, we love looking at the metrics now, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. I'm looking at the metrics of poor dear old Kraut, and as I am talking, he is down to 102,229 subscribers. Before he released his video, he had, about 110 subscribers more than that. So he's lost, in just a few short hours that the video's been up, he's lost about 110 subscribers. Now, of course, right now it's the middle of the night, Eastern Standard Time. So when people start waking up, Sunday morning in the United States, that little trickle of lost subscribers, it's going to become not a flood, not anymore. I think the flood times have passed. But it's just going to be just a torrent of lost subscribers. I would guess that at the end of this, he's going to lose another 400 subscribers, maybe 500 subscribers, between 400 and 500 subscribers by, say, Tuesday. Yeah, I'm guessing that 400 or 500 subscribers between now and Tuesday. Yeah, because, you see, that's the problem with Kraut. Whenever he releases a video, he loses more of his subscribers. Whenever he releases a new video, his videos get even less views than the last one. See, because nobody wants to see his shit. Nobody wants to hear him, and nobody wants to listen to his uneducated drivel, okay? What did I tell you guys in my last video about Kraut? That I studied history. I graduated with honors in history from Dartmouth, okay? My thesis was administrative disintegration of the provisional governments in Russia between February and October of 1917. In that thesis, I was directed by Heidi Whalen, and I basically analyzed Russian bureaucracy between February and October of 1917, and I analyzed how the cadets, the constitutional Democrats, their provisional governments under Prince Lvov and then Kerensky, devolved administrative power to the localities. And since these localities were unprepared to manage this administrative power, well, chaos ensued, social chaos ensued. And this allowed an entry. It let the thin end of the wedge of the Bolsheviks, get into the administrative apparatus of the oblasts, right? But anyway, see, I studied this shit, okay? Not specifically the video that Kraut just made. He made a video about Dresden, and here's the weird fucking thing. I'm not kidding, okay? You might think that I'm lying, but I'm not. I actually just got a book about the Dresden firebombing. Yeah, I got Slaughterhouse 5. Yeah, I got a copy of it, and let me just show it to you right now. Where is this bad boy? Ah, here it is. See, I don't know if you guys can see this. Yeah, see, right there. Wait, where is it? Right, oops, Slaughterhouse 5. In this omnibus edition, I just got it from Amazon. I'm talking 2 days ago, okay? And yeah, because I've been thinking about it, I was talking to my wife about it, and all of a sudden I thought to myself, hey, I'll get Slaughterhouse 5, and so we can both read it. And so, yeah, it's very funny that he's talking about the Dresden firebombing. Because first of all, there was some information in Kraut's video that I didn't know about. For instance, this battle that he mentions about Budapest, the Battle of Budapest, and how the Soviets had, gone, street to street, practically house to house fighting in order to capture Budapest. I didn't know that information. I did not know that the firebombing of Dresden had been requested by the Russian forces, and that Curtis LeMay's Air Force had carried out that. That I knew, but I didn't know that it was on the request of the Russians, and that was very interesting. Yeah, but the thing is, see, this 50-minute video that he made is completely disorganized. For instance, he goes into several reasons, right, with graphics, and he goes into one of these reasons, like 4 reasons, and he talks about the relative difference in technologies, plane technologies, between the Allies and the Germans. But that actually doesn't play into what he's arguing about. No, it's just not relevant at all. And there are more bits and pieces of information throughout the thing, whole sections of his video essay, which are completely irrelevant to the topic at hand, which goes to show, of course, that, see, he's pretending to be erudite and knowledgeable and all the rest of it, but you see, he lacks the training. He lacks the training to be taken seriously on an intellectual basis, on an academic basis, right? He wants to be some sort of professor, some shit like that, right? But he doesn't have the concision, see? He has all this extra shit that isn't relevant to his argument. His actual argument is rather compelling, that it was the Soviets that wanted this, and that the Americans had complied in order to avoid the house-to-house fighting that had taken place in Budapest, which is, like I said, it's a compelling argument. But all the other crap that Kraut used to bulk up this video are completely irrelevant, okay? I hear that JF is studying up on history, and he's going to do a rebuttal of Kraut. More power to you, JF. Have some fun, you know? I'm not going to waste my time. It's just funny for me. I'm just dancing on Kraut's grave and just watching him setting fire to his own career. Yeah. But here's something else that I found, you know, sort of like, well, frankly, kind of despicable about Kraut, because, you know, Kraut fundamentally is not a man of any kind of morality, you know, and on top of that, he is dishonest in his videos. He talks about Curtis LeMay, who was the general in charge of Allied strategic bombing, both in the European theater and then later in the Japanese and the Pacific theater, right? Now, he fails to mention that Curtis LeMay himself said that if the Allies had lost the war, he and the Strategic Air Command of the United States would likely have been prosecuted for war crimes. He himself thought that what he had ordered done to Dresden, among other places, had been a war crime. Okay? So if the guy who actually carried out what happened, you know, viewed it as a war crime, right? Who the fuck is Kraut to say otherwise? Huh? And why exactly is he saying that it's justified? You know, the fact of the matter is, killings are never justified. Even in wars, it's never justified. It's a horrible thing. But it's necessary because a war ultimately is the use of violence to achieve political ends. Political ends when there are no other ways of achieving those political ends. But see, Kraut doesn't see that because Kraut is a sick fuck who views war, you know, amorally. Because I think he wants to be in a war. I think he wants to kill people. I think that he's been locked up in his little basement making all of his stupid little World War II models, and has these ideations of murder. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure that he has these dreams of hurting people, especially his enemies. I'm betting me up there on the top of his list, right? And yeah, so he doesn't see something like Dresden as something immoral. You know, it was so weird. It was such a weird and disjointed kind of essay, 50 minutes. And he talked about things that had nothing to do with the morality of Dresden, things after the fact, about the communists and what have you. And it was just a weird and stupid, disjointed kind of essay. And he was making it, framing it like some sort of documentary. I don't know if he's angling to become some sort of, you know, BBC documentary filmmaker. I mean, he was obviously trying to aim for something like that, something serious, right? Something serious and sober. But he was so disjointed and overlong. It was really fucking funny. But ultimately, like I said, the thing that was most disturbing about his little video essay was I think that he would have enjoyed dropping bombs on people. Oh, yeah. I think, in his ideations in his basement, he's dreaming of hurting people, especially his enemies. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm. See, I put out my address of my studio. I come to my studio just about every day, except a couple of days during the week. I prefer to work during the weekends. Less people around. It's just quieter. It's just a nice environment to be working in those days, right? And I take my 2 days out of the week holiday, during the week. Usually Monday and Wednesday. But anyway, see, my studio address is out there. And, flying out from Austria to here in Ukraine is not expensive at all, not difficult at all. If you're a European Union citizen, you don't even need a visa. So I'm wondering if Kraut is going to show up. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised that Kraut shows up to confront me. And I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up with like some sort of like weapon of some sort, not a gun because he won't be able to get one, but like a knife or something like that, you know? And he'll justify it to himself as, sort of like for his protection. Yeah. He'll justify it to himself that, oh yeah, I'm just protecting myself because, Ukraine is such a dumpster fire country that I have to be armed to protect myself from the natives. Right. Yeah. And yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he like, comes up to me and calls me by my actual name while I'm walking to my studio, or perhaps he like rings the doorbell on my studio and he just wants to confront me, right? And I open the door and before you know it, he pulls out that knife and sticks me. I wouldn't be surprised if he's dreaming about such a thing. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah. Mm. And I'm sure such a thing won't happen. Oh, I'm sure that such a thing won't happen. Uh. I'll be seeing you soon, Kraut. Okay? I'll be seeing you soon.